there is something you want that has not arrived yet. Tonight we are not going to wait for it from the outside. We are going to enter the field where it already exists. The quantum field, where miracles are not exceptions. They are the natural language of reality. Are you ready to receive it? Welcome. Hello, I'm Jordi, founder of Conscious Mind. If you want to support this channel so that it continues to grow and reach more people, subscribe, like this video, and activate the bell so you do not miss any meditation. Every gesture counts and helps me a lot. Thank you from the heart. Close your eyes. Place yourself in the most comfortable position your body can find right now, and surrender the full weight of your body to the surface where you are. There is nowhere to go tonight. There is nothing to solve. There is no version of yourself that you need to keep active. Tonight you are simply consciousness, an observer, a point of presence within an infinite field of possibilities. We are going to explore that field. First, we need to prepare the body in order to enter. Bring your attention to your feet. Observe them without moving them. Simply notice their presence, their weight, their contact with the surface. Now the ankles, the calves, the knees. Each time you place your attention on a part of the body, that part releases a little. Not because you are doing anything, but because consciousness itself has a regulating effect on the tissues. Neuroscientists call this interoception, the brain's ability to read the inside of the body. And when that reading happens, without judgment, without hurry, the body responds with relaxation. The thighs, the hips, the pelvis. Let the whole lower part of the body sink one level deeper, one level heavier, one level stiller. The abdomen. Is there tension here? That familiar tightness that appears when the mind has been carrying worries for too long? Just name it. Tension. And by naming it, you take away part of its power. The chest. The heart. The heart beats. It has done so without you asking every second of your life. It has no urgency tonight. It beats slow, deep, faithful. The shoulders, the arms, the hands. Let the fingers open slightly. Let the palms face the ceiling or the side. That posture of openness tells the nervous system that there is nothing to protect, that there is nothing to grasp, that defense mode can switch off. The neck, the jaw, the forehead. Release the jaw. Let the lips part slightly. Let the tongue rest at the bottom of the mouth. And notice how with that single gesture, the shoulders also drop 1 centimeter more. The whole body present, the whole body heard, the whole body ready. Now we are going to use the breathing technique that will take us into the quantum field. It is called resonance breathing, and it is not a metaphor. It has direct scientific basis. When you breathe at exactly 6 cycles per minute, which is achieved with an inhalation of 5 seconds and an exhalation of 5 seconds, the cardiovascular system enters its natural resonance frequency. Cardiologists measure it as maximum heart rate variability. It is the state in which the heart, the brain, and the autonomic nervous system vibrate in perfect synchrony. Exactly at 0.1 Hertz. This is not a frequency invented for this meditation. It is the natural frequency of your cardiorespiratory system when it is in full coherence. And in the state of coherence, the brain enters deep alpha waves, the brain waves that quantum physicists and consciousness researchers associate with access to what Joe Dispenza calls the field of infinite possibilities. The state where the observer can influence the reality they observe. Five seconds of inhalation, 5 seconds of exhalation. Let us practice it together. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice how that cadence has something different from your usual breathing. It is slower than your mind wants it to be. And in that slowness, there is a direct instruction to the nervous system. There is no emergency. There is no urgency. Time has expanded. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With each cycle, the heart enters its resonance rhythm a little more. The brain begins to produce more alpha waves. The barrier between conscious thought and the subquantum field becomes thinner. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 more cycles, without effort, without control, letting the rhythm carry you. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The body is in resonance now. The heart and the brain are synchronized. And in this state of synchrony, something changes in the way you perceive the space around you. If you place your attention on the space between your body and the ceiling, between your body and the walls, you will notice that that space is not empty. It is full. Quantum physicists have known this for decades. Empty space does not exist. What we call emptiness is in fact the quantum field, a field of unimaginably dense energy where all possibilities coexist in superposition before an observer collapses them into a specific reality. That field is here, now, in this room, in this moment. And you are the observer. In quantum physics, the observer principle says that the simple act of observing a quantum phenomenon changes that phenomenon. Consciousness is not passive. Consciousness participates in the creation of the reality it perceives. This is not philosophy. It is mathematically demonstrated. Young's double-slit experiment showed that a particle behaves like a wave of possibilities until it is observed, at which point it collapses into a defined position. The consciousness of the observer determines which of the possibilities becomes real. You are that observer. Your consciousness, tonight, in this state of resonance, has access to that field. And in that field, what you want to manifest already exists. Not as the future, as a present quantum possibility, already there, waiting for your consciousness to observe it with enough clarity and enough emotion for it to collapse from possibility into the reality you experience. That is manifestation, not magic. Quantum physics applied to human consciousness. And now we are going to enter the field. Imagine that from where you are lying, your body begins to become lighter. Not all at once, very slowly, as if gravity were yielding millimeter by millimeter. The feet become lighter. The legs float slightly. The abdomen no longer weighs. The chest expands without effort. And from the center of your chest, from the heart beating in resonance, a light begins to emanate. A golden light, bright yet soft, not aggressive, like the first ray of morning sun when it comes through a window and fills the room with dust of light. That golden light coming from your heart is your personal electromagnetic field. The heart generates the most powerful electromagnetic field in the human body, 5,000 times more powerful than that of the brain, and that field extends up to 2 meters in all directions around your body. Tonight that field is turned on, in coherence, in resonance with the 528 Hz frequency. What is the 528 Hz frequency? It is one of the frequencies of the solfeggio spectrum, the tuning system that Benedictine monks used in the Middle Ages, and whose research was recovered by Dr. Joseph Puleo and Dr. Leonard Horowitz in the 1990s. The 528 Hz frequency corresponds to the note Mi in the ancient scale, and researchers have associated it with something specific and extraordinary: DNA repair. Biochemist Glenn Rain demonstrated in laboratory studies that DNA in aqueous solution responded differently depending on the frequency of the music to which it was exposed. At 528 Hz, DNA showed greater reconnection activity, greater structural integrity, (528 Hz) is also exactly the frequency produced by chlorophyll when it converts sunlight into energy. It is the frequency of grass in spring, of the greenest green in nature. It is the frequency at which the planet vibrates when it is in its healthiest state. And tonight, that frequency is flowing through you. Feel how the golden light of your heart begins to transform, to acquire a slightly greenish tone, gold and emerald green, mixing in a vibration that is exactly 528 Hz. That light reaches the cells of your body. There are approximately 37 trillion cells in a human body. 37 trillion units of intelligent life, each with its own membrane, its own DNA, its own mitochondria that produce energy, its own repair mechanisms, tonight, those cells are receiving the 528 Hz frequency. And that frequency tells them what chronic stress had prevented them from hearing. You can repair yourselves. You have the resources. Emergency mode is over. Now it is time for restoration. Every cell in your body hears that message tonight. The brain cells, which have been producing excess cortisol for too long, begin to recalibrate their hormonal production. The heart cells, which are now beating in coherence thanks to resonance breathing, synchronize with one another in a way that stress had interrupted. The cells of the immune system, the T lymphocytes, the NK cells, the macrophages, which had been in inflammatory mode, begin to return to their function of intelligent vigilance. Less indiscriminate attack, more precise discrimination, more efficiency. The cells of the digestive system, the intestinal epithelium, the enteroendocrine cells that produce 90% of the body's serotonin, resume their natural rhythm when the 528 Hz frequency reaches them. $37 trillion cells vibrating at the frequency of repair. That is what you are tonight. That is what is happening right now while you listen to these words. Now we are going to go even deeper into the quantum field. Imagine that you can see your own DNA. Not as biology books show it, that static double helix, but as it really is, a structure that vibrates, that pulses, that emits light. Yes, DNA emits light. Biophysicists have measured it. They are called biophotons, ultra-weak particles of light that DNA emits constantly and that function as a system of cellular communication. DNA does not only store genetic information, it is an emitter and receiver of light. Tonight, with the 528 Hz frequency moving through you, that emission of biophotons increases. DNA vibrates with greater clarity. Its light signal is more coherent, and that coherence spreads from cell to cell until the entire body vibrates like a perfectly tuned instrument. Visualize that double helix of your DNA, shining, rotating gently, every base pair in its exact place, every connection between the two strands intact, every epigenetic marker that stress had dysregulated, returning to its position of balance. DNA is not a fixed destiny. Epigenetics, one of the most revolutionary fields of modern biology, has shown that gene expression changes according to the environment, emotions, thoughts, and the frequencies to which the body is exposed. The same genome can be expressed in radically different ways, depending on the person's inner state. Tonight, your inner state is coherence, calm, resonance, 528 Hz. And those conditions activate the expression of genes associated with repair, longevity, and cellular health. DNA listens to the environment. Tonight, the environment you have created for it is the most favorable it can receive. Let me take you on a journey through the most important organs while the 528 Hz frequency reaches them one by one. The heart first. The heart has its own nervous system, 40,000 neurons that process information, learn, and memorize independently from the brain. Cardiologists call it the little brain of the heart. And when the heart enters coherence, when its beats adopt that soft and regular rhythm that resonance breathing creates, that little brain also enters coherence. It stops processing stored fear. It stops reproducing the patterns of stress that have been installed in its tissues for weeks or months, and it begins to operate from its original setting: love, openness, trust. The 528 Hz frequency reaches the heart tonight and gives it permission to do that, to release what it has accumulated, to return to its natural state. The lungs. The 528 Hz frequency reaches the alveoli, those 300 million tiny air sacs where oxygen exchange occurs. Chronic stress generates tension in the pleural tissue surrounding the lungs, reducing their capacity to expand. Tonight, that tension yields. The lungs expand a little more. Oxygen reaches zones that had spent months without receiving full ventilation. And that extra oxygen is exactly the fuel mitochondria need to do their work of cellular repair. The liver. The liver performs more than 500 different metabolic functions. It is the most sophisticated laboratory in the body. And it is also the organ where traditional Chinese medicine and many ancient traditions place the storage of unprocessed anger, contained frustration, and chronic stress. When the 528 Hz frequency reaches the liver tonight, it does so with a specific message. You can release what you are carrying. You can return to your original function. You can filter instead of accumulate. The liver breathes with relief when the parasympathetic nervous system is active and the right frequency bathes it. The kidneys filter approximately 180 liters of blood a day. They are the body's purification plant, and traditional Chinese medicine associates them with chronic fear, with a sense of constant threat, with the deep exhaustion of one who has spent too long in a state of vigilance. The 528 Hz frequency reaches the kidneys tonight with calm, with a signal that danger is not real, that they can lower their guard, that the stress that has been activating them does not require all their energy. The kidneys are filtering with greater efficiency tonight. The brain, the neurons of the prefrontal cortex, that region of the brain in charge of decision making, creativity, planning, empathy, had been partially inhibited by the elevated cortisol of chronic stress. Cortisol in high chronic concentrations literally reduces synapses in the prefrontal cortex. Tonight, as cortisol goes down and the 528 Hz frequency moves through the body, those synapses begin to recover. Neural plasticity, that capacity of the brain to create new connections, is at its highest point during deep sleep and in deep meditative states like the one you are reaching now. Tonight, your brain is creating new connections, new neural pathways that correspond to the state of coherence and openness you have cultivated here. And tomorrow, those pathways will be available. The wisdom of this meditation does not go away when you fall asleep. It installs itself. Now we go to the quantum field of manifestation. I want you to think of something you want to come into your life. Do not think of it with the analytical mind. Do not make lists of why it is difficult, of how much you are lacking, of how long you have been waiting for it. Feel it. How does your body feel when what you want is already present in your life? What do you feel in your chest when what you desire is already part of your reality? Do not search for the image from far away. Do not imagine yourself looking at that desire from the outside. Enter into the sensation of having already received it. Joe Dispenza calls this the state of being. It is not visualizing the future. It is living emotionally from the state that corresponds to the reality you want to create. Because in quantum physics, emotion is the signal that the observer sends to the field, and the field responds to the signal, not to words, not to thoughts, to emotional frequency. When you feel gratitude for something that has not yet arrived in linear time, your nervous system does not distinguish between gratitude for something past and gratitude for something present. The amygdala has no access to the calendar. It only feels the emotion. And that emotion, when it is real, when it comes from the body, and not only from the head, generates an electromagnetic field from the heart that magnetometers can measure several meters away. That field is your signal to the quantum universe. That signal says, "This already exists in my emotional reality," and the quantum field collapses in that direction. Feel that now. The warmth in the chest that comes from knowing that what you desire is already on its way. The relaxation that comes from releasing control over how it has to arrive. The gratitude that comes from trusting that the quantum field knows more pathways than your analytical mind can calculate. Let that emotion expand from the heart toward the outside of your body. Farther than you can measure. To the ceiling, to the walls, beyond the walls. Your personal electromagnetic field, charged with the frequency of what you want to manifest, is now mixing with the quantum field of the universe. Miracles are not interruptions of natural laws. They are the natural laws of the quantum field, manifesting in the classical field we call everyday reality. Every unexplained healing, every perfect coincidence, every chance event that changes a life. They are the quantum field responding to the frequency of an observer who entered coherence and emitted their signal with enough clarity. That is what you are doing now, and the field's response is already in motion. You do not have to see the mechanism. You do not have to understand how. You only have to sustain the frequency. I want you to feel it in the body one more moment. That state of someone who knows that their desire is already on its way. It is not arrogance. It is not fantasy. It is the frequency of the observer aligned with their field. The difference between someone who asks from fear, from lack, from I do not have it yet, and someone who emits from certainty, from anticipated gratitude, from it is already in motion, is a difference of frequency, and the quantum field does not respond to words, it responds to frequency. The frequency of fear generates more of what you fear, not because the universe is cruel, but because the quantum field collapses in the direction the observer is most emotionally focused on. If your dominant emotional energy is the fear of not having, the field reads that signal and organizes reality in coherence with it. If your dominant emotional energy is the certainty that what you desire is on its way, the field reads that signal and begins to organize people, circumstances, synchronicities in that direction. Tonight, your dominant emotional energy is certainty. It is anticipated gratitude. It is the calm of one who already knows. And the quantum field is already responding. Feel that. You do not have to see the mechanism. You do not have to understand how. You only have to sustain the frequency. And tonight, while you sleep, that frequency keeps working. Deep sleep is when the quantum field has the greatest freedom to reorganize reality in your direction. Because the ego, which during the day interferes with its fears, its doubts, its need to control the process, falls silent during sleep, and the quantum field can act more fluidly when the ego is not blocking. That is why so many miracles happen after a night of sleep. That is why solutions appear in the morning that were not available the night before. Because during sleep, the quantum field has been working. Tonight, with 528 Hz resonating in every cell of your body, with the heart in coherence, with your emotional signal sent to the field, tonight's quantum work is going to be extraordinary. We are going to do one final cycle of resonance breathing to seal this intention, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feel how each inhalation brings more 528 Hz frequency into the inside of the cells. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feel how each exhalation releases to the field what your heart has generated tonight. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is your signal sent. That is your intention planted in the quantum field, like a seed in perfectly prepared soil. You do not have to do anything else. Only let it grow while sleep does its work. The golden and green light that emanated from your heart continues shining in the field around you. It does not switch off when you fall asleep. It continues radiating throughout the whole night. It continues communicating with the quantum field in every cycle of deep sleep. And your DNA, which tonight received the frequency of repair, continues its work of cellular healing while the body sleeps. The mitochondria, which during sleep have more freedom to do their work of energy production and oxidative damage repair, take advantage of the state of coherence you have created to work more efficiently. Sleep tonight is not simply rest. It is the most productive working time of the quantum field in your life. And now, sleep arrives. The words you hear come from farther away. As if they came from the other side of a very wide field of light. The body weighs as if it were part of the earth. The feet are heavy and still. The legs do not move. The abdomen rises and falls on its own. Without your having to remind it to do so. The heart beats in resonance. Slow, deep, faithful. The eyelids sealed, the jaw loose, the shoulders in their natural place. The mind begins to let go of forms. Thoughts lose their edges. They become mist. Golden and green mist. The mist of the quantum field, filling the space between thoughts. Feeling the space between the cells filling every corner of your being. The 528 Hertz frequency keeps flowing silently through every tissue, through every bone, through every cell, repairing what needs repair, restoring what needs restoration, aligning what needs to align with the healthiest and most complete version of you. And what you asked of the field tonight is already in motion. You cannot see it yet with your eyes, but the quantum field is already organizing it. The people, the circumstances, the synchronicities, the doors that are going to open. Everything is already in motion in the field. And tomorrow, when you wake up, the world will be exactly the same physical place it was this morning. But the cells of your body will have received hours of 528 Hertz frequency. Your DNA will have spent an entire night in the most favorable environment you have given it in a long time. Your immune system will have taken advantage of the parasympathetic state to do its intelligent surveillance work. Your brain will have consolidated new neural pathways that correspond to this state of coherence. And the quantum field will have continued organizing what your heart asked of it tonight. But you will look at it from a different state, from the certainty that the quantum field is working with you, from the frequency of someone who already knows that what they desire is on its way. From the body of someone who spent the night healing in the 528 Hertz frequency. And that difference changes everything, because the reality you perceive is inseparable from the state from which you perceive it. Tonight you entered the field. You planted your seed. You sent your signal. And now the field does its work. While you sleep and restore yourself and heal yourself and prepare for the version of your life that is already waiting for you on the other side of sleep. Sleep deeply. The quantum field is taking care of you tonight. Good night.